First of all, if you bump into an Eastern European in A&E, they're more likely to be treating you.
And when people in this country say we don't have control of our borders, they don't mean having to show your passport when you come to Heathrow. They mean that people can come to the United Kingdom and settle here whether or not we want it. And that's going to be driven big time by the failure of the euro.
I want us to be able to choose the people who come to our country and bring the skills, as Australia does and Canada does and America does. I want us to be able to choose.
All very well the Prime Minister say we're protected. In what sense are we protected? We're a minority, a serious minority in this body that's going to be driven by the members of the Eurozone. Now, of course, the Euro may not survive, and I'm very worried about this. It may not survive at all. The whole thing may blow up. And if it does blow up, do you think we're actually going to be in a stronger position to withstand all that if we're still in the EU?
Well, I'm afraid I found that whole argument that if we leave the European Union, the risk of war in Europe increases and the risk of genocide increases was just going far too far.
But just remember this, when Putin invaded a European country, the Ukraine, it was the European Union, and I believe it was Britain, that persuaded Germany and Italy particularly to agree to Europe-wide sanctions.
We've got some of the best universities in the world. We have got English as our primary language. We're in the right time zone for global trading. And in terms of things like financial services, we are able to scale up and we've got a good professional class supporting it, all of which will be there whether or not we're in the European Union.
This economy has created 2.4 million jobs over the last 6 years and is one of the most successful economies in the world at the moment, and we are in the European Union. The question is, are we going to unnecessarily put that record of economic success and recovery after a very painful economic downturn at risk?
The IMF identified two major global shocks. One is Brexit. Us leaving would be a global shock, not just for us, but to the system. And the other was Donald Trump.
Why should we have to ask 27 other countries, could we possibly have cheaper tampons?
Because we agreed to freeze it. Because we agreed as a country to freeze VAT.
It's ridiculous. We should be governing, if we want to lower the price of Tampax, we should be able to do it.
Oh, the self-inflicted wound of just turning our back on that market and then spending time and treasure trying to scramble back to the very good trade arrangements that we had in the first place strikes me as a totally unnecessary risk.